Hi, this is a very quick tutorial about what a good research question looks like. When you start a research project, you need to start it with a question or an idea or a focus, and that's where a good research question comes in. And you need to remember that this research question has to support a whole research project. So let's take a look at a couple. If we're studying ancient Egypt and you asked how tall are the pyramids in Egypt, that's a good question. You could get one answer, 3,000 feet tall, but it's not a good research question because there's one right answer and you can't write a whole essay or do a whole project on that question. There's just one word or one fact. So it's a good fact question, but it's not a good research question. The same thing with this one. What materials did the ancient Egyptians use to build the pyramids? Good question, good fact question. You'll probably need it, but the question, which is limestone, doesn't help you write an entire essay. So you have to make the question bigger. Like, why were the pyramids important to ancient Egyptian culture? If that question, you could take a look at what the pyramids were, how they were built, why they were built, and who built them. And then you'll be able to answer that question. So the big research question you can break up into little pieces of smaller questions, and then you have a project. So you want a question that's not too small, not just one right answer. Let's look at another one. How has ancient Roman culture affected today's world? Well, that's a great research question, but it's way too big because you could probably write about 50 books on every aspect of ancient Roman culture and how it affects us today. So that one is too big, and we want to make that a little smaller. Like, why are the ancient Roman ideas on government still important today? So you can take a look at ancient Roman government, the different ideas they had about it, how it worked in ancient Rome, and see if it has any connections to today. The same thing with this one. How has ancient Roman sporting events influenced sports today? Same thing. You could take a look at all the different sporting events, how they played them, what they played, and the rules and where they played them, and then see if that has any connection with today. So you want a question that is not too big but also not too small. So let's go over the rules quickly. A good research question doesn't have just one right answer. It's big enough to support a whole project, but it's also not too big so that you're not writing 6 books about it. You have to be able to have a research question that sparks other questions under the same topic. So if you're doing sports in ancient Rome, you want to talk about what kind of sports they played, where they played them, the rules, who played them, things like that. So it sparks other questions underneath the big research question. So I hope this helps. Research questions take a lot of practice and a lot of trial and error, but they are the key focus to a good research project.